God, bro, do I hate fighting with my teammates in tournaments. It is the most annoying thing ever. And if you guys have the same issue, bro, why does everyone just try to make it into some argument? Everyone always thinks they're right. And I wanted to make this video to kind of explain what the roles in a duo should be. And why you guys should not be arguing. There should never be a case. And in this case, like, anytime we just start arguing, you always lose that tournament. Like, there's very few tournaments where people are fighting their own duo and still doing well in the tournament. And I had a tournament last night that really just showed, like, wow, duos are it's just so difficult. You gotta find the right one. And I think the first thing you gotta look for in a duo is make sure they have some skill that you don't have. And the main one that most people use is Fragger and IGL. And a lot of people, like Aussie Antics and stuff, have been really harping the last few seasons about how it's not that important, really, to have an IGL and a Fragger role, and their roles really don't matter. But I'm going to disagree with that, and I'm going to explain in this video why it's just so important. Because it is the key to so many teams arguing with each other. And that's just why I wanted to talk about it. So I think the main thing to get out of the way is, who should we be listening to in a Fortnite game in a tournament? And this is the IGL. You should always listen to the IGL. And I don't know why it's just so difficult for people to understand. Like, in my case, the IGLing is my best skill. And I've been, like, not flawless, but, you know, very good IGL for my duo. And then the last night, randomly, like, their last game, we had 290 points, and we literally were top 500, and my duo just decided to, oh yeah, let's completely go on my own lead. So he was like, this rotates good, I know it. And so he rotates in front of this team, and then I'm like, I'm not going with you. I knew he was gonna die because the duo was gonna rotate right into him, and that's exactly what happened. He goes down, he blames me, he rage quits off it, and he sells our top 500 placement. And the point of the story is not that I'm right and I have no responsibility in why we did bad in the tournament. I should have caved for him because I should have understood that you just can't argue with some people. But in a case, I didn't actually even see him. I didn't know he actually rotated on his own yet. I was looting or doing whatever, and I didn't even notice he rotated. So I kind of couldn't follow him. So I guess it was mostly his fault. But the thing is, the biggest problem with what just happened is that he didn't listen to his IGL, and I think that's the first point of the video. You gotta listen to your IGL. You have to give somebody a good amount of trust. So your smartest player should get the most trust. Just because if you guys are trying to make decisions, both of you guys, it never goes well. Every decision is gonna take longer and have an argument waiting to happen. And as you guys watch Mongrel and Mr. Savage with Blood X, they're just constantly arguing, and it always ends up in them dying. Because the more you argue, the slower decision making happens, and sometimes the slower decision gets you killed. And even a worse decision, but having it happen right away, gives a way better outcome than not making a decision at all, because you're just a sitting duck. And it happens so much in the lower tier skill. But even seeing a pro do it in Mongrel, it is definitely a problem that many people have just because of ego. But you gotta take yourself out of ego mode. You're in a tournament, you have a duo, man. You guys are your guys' teammates. You guys both have a interest in winning this tournament. It doesn't matter who's right, it just matters what placement you get. And while I did still place 1900, that top 500 would have looked real good. And it would have felt great too. And the moral of the story is, have a dedicated IGL, please. Because if you're switching IGLs mid-game or doing something weird like going back and forth or something crazy, then you're not going to fully know who to trust always. And I think that quick decision on the thing, you need that now, and a moment of delay can be your demise, and you just have to have somebody trusted. And no matter if the decision goes well or not, you can learn from it next time. But if you guys were arguing, you never really even had that chance to succeed in the first place. So that's really the only lesson. And let's go a little bit more into the IGL and Fragger roles just to get a little bit more used to what I kind of refer them to. In my idea, the IGL is just a leader. He's the one who's going to take all the information in and use his brain as like a complex computer and figure out what they're going to do. That's going to make the best outcome. Whether you're rotating to a zone or whether you're deciding to push them or not, or trying to see if you can get Surge or not. there's a lot of really hard decisions that you have to make, and while some decisions might take time, you gotta start getting better at getting faster. And while your fragger does still have some responsibilities, you guys should both still be very observant, because 2 eyes looking 2 different ways is so much better than just one. You should not trust your IGL just with observations. In a lot of cases, I do less observation than my fragger, and my fragger gives me the information. There's kids over there, there's kids over there, and then I use my brain and I calculate where we're going to go next. What little lane will get me to zone fastest and safest? And that's really the key of IGLing. And maybe in a future video, I'll go really in depth analyzing some videos and stuff of what I do. And yeah, that's really what an IGL is. I'm going to go talk a little bit about fragger. While I'm not a fragger, which I don't know everything about fragging, and I'm not the greatest fighter and everything, I definitely kind of know the role of a fragger. And the role of a fragger is really to be the guy with low ping, the guy who can get in walls, take walls, know the Peterbot strat to go right through walls, and really just the person to lay pressure on the other team, and the one to make them kind of panic. And then also, the fragger is very impulsive normally, which I've found, in which the fragger's job is also to learn how to listen to the IGL, because taking instructions can sometimes be harder than giving instructions, because maybe if the IGL isn't that clear, you might have to do some decoding with figuring out what they mean and where to follow them while rotating, which can be quite a tough job too, which I don't want to understate. But that's really a simple fragger. Have amazing aim, be good at mechanics. It's very simple, and I think that's all you really need to understand about it. So guys, I really hope you guys learned something from this, and you guys really enjoyed my video, and I hope you guys leave a like and subscribe too, because the channel growing slowly, but if you guys could just do that for me, it would be so much. So I hope you guys have an amazing night, and you guys really enjoyed this. So goodbye, everyone.